So how can we save our home?
If you're looking at saving your home, what we do is go ahead and work with your lender to take a discounted payoff, or in today's terminology, which is considered a short sale on it. This is a benefit to both you and the lender versus doing a foreclosure, which can be very costly on both cases.
So what is a short sale?
What a short sale, like I mentioned, is a discounted payoff. The lender is going to take less money than what is due them on the loan because of the fact that the values on the properties have probably fallen to the point where you owe more on your home than what it is really worth.
Why exactly would a bank want to take a discount on what is owed to them?
The reason they want to take a discount on what is owed, the fact that if they had to go through and do a foreclosure on the property, they lose twice as much money on a foreclosure versus doing a short sale. So the benefit to them is actually taking the short sale, because then that way too they can also go to the government and ask for additional money, as you probably have read about.
How much does this process cost exactly?
For you as a client, we do not charge you whatsoever for our services. We believe that that is not right to do that because of the fact that you are in a situation that you are struggling financially. We actually get paid by the lender in order to do the short sale because, again, we are saving them money and we're helping you through the process too. So they pay us and you do not pay us a dime.
We hear about all these scams. How do we know we can trust you?
The reason that you can trust us is a couple different reasons. One, we are members of the Better Business Bureau, and because of that, we have to adhere to higher standards for business practices, plus the fact that they also had to go in and critique our website before we even put it out there and make a few little corrections on that. Number two is we're also not going to have you sign any type of warranty deed, no quitclaim deed, no trust deed, and no power of attorney. Once everything's been signed off by the lender and approved and we go to closing, you will close at the title company, which has a disinterested third party, and that's where you'll sign all of the documents just like when you purchase the property.
How long does it take?
This process, I have to tell you, is not going to be a speedy process. It can drag out quite extensively. I normally like to tell clients it could be anywhere between 30 to 180 days to do this because the lenders are so inundated with files right now. In fact, the last numbers that we've seen and heard, each loss mitigator at the lenders are working on 700 files apiece. So each day when they come in, they just start at the top and go, do I have a foreclosure coming up on this property? And that's how they start with the process. If you are not in the foreclosure process or been notified of that yet, you're going to go towards the bottom of the stack. Now we'll try to work you up the stack. But it's a long drawn out process. This is not going to be a fast process.
What exactly is the difference between a short sale and a foreclosure?
The difference between a short sale and a foreclosure is twofold here. On a foreclosure situation for the lender, if they go in, foreclose on the property, the process is going to take them anywhere from 90 to at least 120 days before they get to the foreclosure sale. Then once they have the property back, then they have to worry about selling it, they have to worry about paying the realtor's fees, they have to worry about paying for any repairs that may need to be on the property. By that time, they actually end up losing twice as much as if they would do a short sale on the property. Detriments to you as the client, if the lender goes in and forecloses on the property, it can affect you being able to finance any real estate for probably a minimum of 7 years. It will hit your credit scores to a minimum of 250 points from what we have seen, and the lender could also come after you for a deficiency judgment, which can go ahead and be reported out there and can affect you for up to 10 years. Whereby on a short sale situation, how it benefits the lender is they lose less money by accepting a short sale than they would on the foreclosure. For you as the client, what happens there is the late pays as we go through this process are going to show up on credit. But the lender typically will report, once everything is signed off, they will report that as paid or settled for full or paid or settled less than full. And based upon FHA guidelines, with that type of reporting, if you have a good pay history, whether it's rent or mortgage over a 12 to 24 month period of time, you would be able to get financing on real estate again. So you can be able to buy property a lot sooner again.
What experience do you have?
Well, we have been around doing this for a little over 8 years. Combined experience is almost 19 years on this. So we've got a great reputation with the lenders, and they like seeing our files. We bumped our heads against the wall when we first started, like everybody does, but we have finally figured out what the lenders want to see. That's the type of package. In fact, we'll even get lenders calling us. And give you an example, we had a builder bring us in a bunch of loans, and we started going through the process, and we got like 5 or 6 of them approved. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue one day, a lender calls us and asks Jessica, who works with all the loss mitigators, hey, you know, are you guys working on this property? She goes, no, not whatsoever. And they go, well, we didn't think so because we got some paperwork, but it's not typically what you guys send us. Well, come to find out, the builder had tried to do a short sale because he figured he could do it a little bit quicker, not understanding the fact that this is a long process. So we had to call him in and sit him down and tell him about the fact that two things here. One, you almost ruined the opportunity to do a short sale on the property. Number two is, you know, you won't ruin our reputation with the lenders because of the fact that we've worked too hard to get there, and there's other clients that we're going to be dealing with the same lenders. Well, after he understood the situation, he then went ahead. But, you know, it's interesting that the lender in that case called us, and that's the type of reputation that we have. And with one of the other big national lenders, we have actually aren't working at the main level where the loss mitigators are. We're actually a little bit higher up the food chain just because of our reputation that we have with them and how many files we deal with them on a regular basis.
If I do a short sale, do I still owe the bank money after the sale?
In most cases, no. And the situation we be in is because of the fact that we, like I talked about on the foreclosure, they will almost 100% of the time come after you for a deficiency judgment because they are really suffering a loss through that foreclosure. On a short sale, they have actually approved taking less of a payoff on the thing. So because of the fact that they're doing that, they typically will not come back after you for any type of deficiency, and they're signing off on the fact that they're approving this short sale and taking less of a payoff.
We have 2 loans. Can we still do a short sale?
Oh, most definitely. We work with, most clients, I should say, have a first and a second. There's very few that have just a first mortgage. So we do the same type of package for both the first and the second and negotiate, you know, with both of them. So each of them will take some sort of a discounted payoff or a short sale for their loan.
How does this process affect my credit?
How the process is going to affect your credit, and I briefly mentioned this before when we were talking about what a short sale is and what a foreclosure is. The late payments, because you're already late as it is now, so those late payments are going to show on your credit. And as we're going through this process, those payments, which you wouldn't be making because the lender's not going to accept partial payments now at this point in time, they will go ahead and they're going to show up on your credit, but it shows up at a lot less of a detriment to you than what a foreclosure would, because like I mentioned, on a foreclosure, once it shows up, it could affect you for financing real estate for a minimum of 7 years.
My home is in bad shape. Can we still get help?
Oh, yes. It doesn't matter whether the property needs some work or the property is, you know, brand new, a year old type of thing. We can work with all of that, and we just explain everything to the lender when we're going in. Okay, this is the type of work that would have to be done on the property, which means you could suffer a greater loss, and we try to convince them on the basis that that is why they should even do, you know, a greater discount, shall I say, from what the payoff is on the property.
I'm in bankruptcy. Can you still help me?
Oh, we can work in that situation too. There's just one more face that we have to deal with, which is the bankruptcy, attorney and judge in the situation. But we're still working with the lender. We're working with them, and the bankruptcy. The only difference there is the bankruptcy judge has to sign off, on the short sale themselves. It's not just the lender that is involved in that situation. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. We just have to get the blessing from the bankruptcy, judge, and we've worked with them, numerous times in the past too. So yes, we can work with them in that situation.
We save homeowners behind on house payments so they can sell or stay in their home. Remember, our services are free to you. Give us a call today, 801-485-SAVE. That's 801-485-7283. Our mission is to save every homeowner behind on payments from being foreclosed on.